you see something going wrong and it's paining you, and you decide to keep quiet, you might be sitting on an opportunity for you to launch what you need to become. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and on today's Becoming series, I want to talk about choosing what to become. How do you really choose what to become, and at what point do you really choose what to become? To answer this particular question, I'm just going to just reflect back. As a kid, I wanted to become a lot of things, and it kept changing by the second. Like, at some point, I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a writer. In fact, as a kid, I remember writing a couple of novels, but nobody ever read them. So I read a couple of novels and I was compiling it, and I kept saying, "Oh, I'll tell my father to publish it for me." So anytime you read a story, anytime you come across something, it kind of just makes you begin to think, would I want to become this? It's what makes us who we are, really. That reflection, the things that we come across. I heard my uncle that time talk about an engineer. He talked about electrochemical engineer. He talked about a successful electrochemical engineer. I can't really remember the very details. But I remember also thinking in that light at that point, all I just wanted is to be somebody that mattered, something that people would be proud of me. So I used to listen to my parents. My father would really say, if you become a lawyer or you become a doctor, any of them is fine. It was all of these things that kept building up the mindset of who I really wanted to be. It continued up until even when I got to school. I kept, you have an encounter with your English teacher. She will say, you're so smart in English and you speak so well. You need to be a lawyer. You come across with somebody in the science. You do well in science. You're so sweet as a science student. You'll be good as a doctor. All of these silent comments are what makes us informed decisions that we finally make on what to become. But me, growing up from childhood, I became from one thing I'll become this. This week I'm another thing. Next week I am another thing. Next week I camp for another location, and it continues. Some people, even till when they are grown ups, they're still confused about what they really want to do with life, what they want to be. So they let people's thoughts, what people think about them, to actually sway their movement. Push them from here, push them. They are not consistent with one thing. So what did it mean for me, and at what point did I really make a decision and say, first of all, it was a war for me to choose whether to be in art or science. This week I'm in art, next week I'm in science, because I was so confused. I really wanted to be a lawyer, and then at the same time I also wanted to be a doctor, because these are the two things that for my parents it really mattered. So for me, I was just trying to decide where will I fit the most, and I was asking lots of people, my friends, where do you think I will do better? This one will tell you law, this one will tell you science, this one will tell you art. So at one point, I really decided to stick to science. I lost an auntie who was so dear to me. I lost her to breast cancer. It was at that point, it was in her burial, that I really decided I wanted to be a science student, just because maybe we can find a cure to breast cancer. In fact, me and my brother even shared the vision that time, that when we grow up, we'll build a hospital and name it Mwakego Memorial Hospital. I can never forget. So we really thought we would build a big hospital in my village, and the hospital will be caring for cancer patients. So I was now so motivated, and my mom was my motivational speaker when we were growing up. Give motivation, I'm a motivator. So I just say, I don't come for here. I really, so I went into science, and that is how I became a science student to start with. But becoming is beyond even profession. It's beyond professionalism. For me, it's defining what you really stand for. It's defining what you are. So if you define what you are, you can actually fit in any place you find yourself. You can really fit. So as growing up, becoming was more about profession. But now, becoming, it's not about profession. It goes beyond profession. It's about the impact you're making. It's about what you're doing. It's about what you stand for. It's about what you are known for. It's about your own space where you don't occupy for this life. Where you say, anytime when anybody come here, now they know. And do I think that somebody can become more than one thing? Yes. Yes. Who says you can't become anything? You can become anything you want to be, and more than one thing at the same time. So I remember at some point in my school days, when I was in the university, I told somebody, I was such a serious student from year one, but going towards year 2, year 3, I started feeling a little bit of, I just needed, I started feeling bored, let me call it bored. I really wanted to be involved in so many things. I'm passionate about leadership. I cannot just come and say I'm reading only book, So I, went all out. I started doing a couple of things. I was into politics. I was this. I was doing this, doing that. My results started coming down. Like my results was no longer as good as it used to be. But it wasn't bad. But it wasn't as good as it used to be. So I was not talking with a senior colleague who came to advise me. He was telling me, "You, we are on your way to first class. You are doing so good. Why distracting yourself with all of these things and all that?" And then I was not telling him, "Are you trying to say there's no way I can still do the things that I really care about and still succeed in my academics?" And he was like, "You cannot have two masters at the same time. You cannot be a jack of all trade and master of all. It's not possible." So he told me that, and I had to choose either I want to succeed in academics or I want to succeed in whatever it is that I'm more interested in. I just thought about it. I just went back and said, "No, no, 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 this is not true." Because I knew that my situation was unique. Beyond just concentrating in my academics, I really needed a business to sustain my life, like a business to give me money to sustain my living as a student. I also, because of also the kind of background I come from, I needed a business to be doing, and then I love politics. I need to be involved in making decisions that affect me too because I'm a student. So, and I also wanted to succeed in my academics. I just wanted to be able to do all of them at the same time. So I just said, "Oh, I'm not doing so badly. I just continue doing my best academically to make sure that I succeed. So, and well, here we are. The truth is that was the best decision of my life. I'm telling you, no first class would have beat the experience and the kind of exposure, letting myself do everything I could do at the university level. No first class could beat that for me. So I was okay where I am, so far as it gave me the opportunity to still do the other thing. And academics really, university for me was beyond the certificate. It was beyond the paper. It was beyond what's written on the paper. It was about what I'm going to do with this. Like I'm more of a practical person. I like getting into things because I can use it to do this, I can do that, do that, that. Not because I just want to get the certificate, get the paper. Like that paper, it was meaningless to me if it can't translate into money. It can't translate into anything tangible, anything that anybody can see and look back on. So at what point did I decide what exactly to become? It was at the point where I had a strong motivation. I had a reason, the why, the what, why do I want to be this thing? Why really? Is there something motivating enough so that if I wake up this morning, I don't lose this thing will wake me up and I will jump out and I'm gonna start doing it? Is there a reason? Is there something tangible, strong enough? So I had to find my why. And my why, as I told you guys, was because I lost an auntie who she died of breast cancer, and then I just felt I should be in the science line, maybe help in finding a cure to breast cancer. So it was a motivation. I dey read book, I know say something they remind me, say, Omo, you need to do this because you want to achieve this. So that was my own why. Yes. So I had to, so long as I answered that why, it now gave me a reason to stay on that path without getting distracted. So it became relevant for me whether I'm good as I speak very well. So it became relevant to me whether I speak very well and I will do better as a law student. It became relevant to me whether I was the leader of debate club. Yes, because I was in press club and debate club in my school. I talk a lot, and I talk convincingly too. So it just became more like this argument superseded every other argument I've had that was swaying me towards the art side. So that was why I now said, okay, let me stick to science. And because I had this strong motivation. So you need to be a young person that is watching this and you're really confused. You want to be this, you want to be, I need to first of all find your why. And then what exactly are you good at? You might admire this thing so well, but you're not good at it. You try, it no work. What exactly are you good at? That is another thing that will make you know that I'm supposed to be here and I'm where I'm supposed to be. So you can admire basketball players, but you cannot play it, and you've tried, it's not working for you. In fact, it stresses you out. That is a sign for you to know that you're not supposed to be there. And when you're young, I think you should try so many things, because how can you really know what you're good at if you've never tried other things? So you might just do one thing and say, this is what I'm good at, I camp here. And you're better in other things, but you never give them a chance. So what are you really good at? And how can you say what you're good at if you've not tried so many things? So be free to make mistakes. The problem is you just keep thinking somebody else out there has it all figured out. Even me, I can become another thing tomorrow. I can camp and live from this place I am if I have a superior reason to be elsewhere. And that is life. Nobody has it all figured out. We are all doing life for the first time. Nobody has done it before. Nobody has done it before. We are all doing it for the first time. So life is something that gets figured out as time goes on. So we keep at it, we keep doing, and it keeps becoming clearer as time goes on. And as I said earlier, becoming is also beyond just profession. If you watch, I'm talking from several points of view. So I'm going to tell you something that someone told me when I was looking for a work. I was so broke as a student and I needed work. Shout out to Samson Abani if you're watching this video. So I'll tell you something he told me. So I met him, we were both students, but he was a senior colleague and he was also doing a couple of businesses in campus. And I wanted to do a business. I wanted to do something, just something to make ends meet, business, something. So I met with him that particular day and we were both students. We came for night class and I was in the love garden really thinking, what am I going to do? Am I going to survive this semester? I need money. I need money. I need something to be able to cut out and take care of myself. So as I was just talking, and then he came, I was just thinking within myself, and he came around and asked me what was bothering me, and we started discussing. And asked me what am I good at. I told him I wanted work. Oh, he told me what am I good at? What can I do? What skills do I have? At that point, I just realized I actually don't have any skill. I just literally just finished secondary school. I was already in the university. That was around my 200 level. I had no skills, zero skills. So I told him, or as I done, I thought I didn't have any skill. So I told him, I don't have any skill. I don't know how to do anything, but I know that I can talk. I can talk for Africa. And if I talk, person they listen. And if I talk, person they believe me. So this is just the only thing I know. I think I can talk and I can run. Yeah, I remember I used to be an athlete in school. I used to run for my school then. So I can talk, I can run. These are the two things I know I can do very, very, very well. Like wake me up and I can do it very well. So he was like, "Oh, you can talk very well. Okay, that's interesting. That means you can be a sales rep. You can sell anything to somebody." I said, what are you not saying? Yes, now I can sell. I can convince people, so I can sell. And he told me, okay. I was going to talk to a friend who owns a bookstore, and then I'm going to work for him. I can work for him and all. I was so happy. So that's how I got my first job. Anyway, I think I did well. I did so well. I earned my first salaries. I sold a lot for my for my boss then and all of that. The relationship never died to today. Anyway. So that was how I got that particular job because I said I can talk, and really I proved myself as somebody who can use that skill to do something or to achieve something. How did I launch into business? This was my first that was my first trial on doing something, my first trial on selling something, my first trial on working as a sales rep. So I now know that I have a capacity in that light in marketing. I have a skill in that field already. So if I didn't try it, I wouldn't have known. If I didn't even give it a chance, there's no way on earth I would have known. So now, even my business, how did I start my business? What motivated me? I just saw a tailor that was driving Range Rover back then, who I was supposed to give a contract from school. And that was how I picked interest. I was like, if this person can be making money here, I think I need to look into this, and it's a good skill as well. So I started looking into it, and it has the market. And I started looking into it, and that's why I started my business. One day I'll talk about it extensively. I'm just briefly telling you things, giving you instances from my own point of view, from my life. How did I decide to start an organization? Tomorrow is a Girl Initiative. What made me start it? It was a statement. It's made a statement that I've heard over the years. You're a girl, you shouldn't do this. You are this, you are that. In my family, you're a girl. You need to give opportunity to the boy because he's the bearing the surname of the family, and at the end of the day and all of that. It made me say, "Oh, you don't believe in me today, and you second guess my abilities because I'm a girl. Tomorrow is a girl." And that is how I started. That motivation, that thing that is paining you, that drag you out, that is body. So if you see something going wrong and it's paining you, and you decide to keep quiet, you might be sitting on an opportunity for you to launch what you need to become. So when pain is put there, it is to motivate you to stand up and do something. Things are not everything in this life, ACO, light, it's because somebody saw a problem, is paining the person, is annoying the person, and the person wants to do something about that thing. And that is how inventions come. So becoming, as I said, it's not about career, it's not about you're a banker, you are this, no. It's everything. it's the entire picture. So to end, I'm going to read something. Every stage is sacred, and every version of you is part of the becoming. The harvest will speak. So this is talking to everybody. Every stage of your life is really sacred, but all of them is part of your becoming. So are you listening to me as a student, a university student? Are you listening to me as a graduate who doesn't yet know where to move from where he is right, or he or she is right now? Are you listening to me as a young girl, a young adolescent girl who doesn't even know whether to join art or science class? Whatever it is, whatever you're doing, are you listening to me as a full-grown man or a full-grown woman who has given up, who feels their life is ended already? Then this is for you. It is what you make of that particular stage you're in that ends up telling your stories. People pick up their lives at 80, 50, and they make the most out of it, and they become figures that people listen to. They become people that people reference and talk about. We forget your failures. We don't talk about that one where you don't do go go go. So it's never too late for you to start doing something, for you to become. It's never too late. And if you're listening to this and you're still young, we are right on time. Start making mistakes. Do that thing and do it bad. All of them is part of your becoming. There's nothing I will say that will beat the experience when you do it gone by yourself. It's just a failure they teach lesson, and they teach lesson pass. So fail as many as possible. Fail so that you learn. So that you learn. So thank you so much for listening to this session, and I'll catch you in the next session.